Massive, huge, gargantuan. It's a champion's win for Arsenal. If you ever want to see the definition of a champion's win, it's today for the Gunners. Because for me, I feel that, look, I don't think they were anywhere near their fluent best. I felt that Arsenal had a number of opportunities today because there was a lot of mistakes from Chelsea in the game. Rob Sanchez with the ball at his feet, loads of great counter-attacking opportunities. And I felt that Arsenal messed a fair few of those up. But once again, they found a way. Once again, the mark of champions, potential champions, shone through. The goals from the set pieces are one of the most potent weapons that we've ever seen in the Premier League. And did Arsenal deserve it? Maybe. Maybe not. But it doesn't matter to Arsenal fans. The run-in is here. And in the run-in, the last 12 games of the season, all that matters is W's. All that matters is getting over the line. And that is what Arsenal did today. That is what shone through today. And I think that so much confidence, I think so much happiness and so much belief from an Arsenal perspective can be born out of today because they weren't at their best. Chelsea played very well. Some of the saves in that game, David Raya in the 93rd minute of the game, the cross from Alejandro Garnacho, it's so difficult. He can't dive early because if there's a touch in the middle, it's an open net. Has to wait until there's no touch in the middle to show the flexibility, the reaction, speed, and athleticism to get to that ball and to keep it out, to keep it at 1-1. Majestic. There's a lot of talk. Is David Raya one of the best goalkeepers in the world? You just got a moment of brilliance in the run-in during a title race. You add that to the legacy bank. In the 95th minute today, Gabriel Magalhaes. Chelsea, they threw the kitchen sink at that last 10 minutes. And Arsenal will, of course, at a sort of crossroads in the game. Do you attack and try and get the third goal, but leave space in behind, or do you sit in and defend? 2-1 is sometimes a horrible scoreline. I feel that if they'd have got a third, maybe in the 80th minute of the game, it would have been a nice relaxed ending, not just because there's a 2-goal margin, but Arsenal could have just sat in deep, absorbed, and even if you concede one goal, it ain't the end of the world. But they're in that really difficult place. Raya's just made the save, and then Chelsea break into the box again. And it looks like the lap's going to lever a shot and maybe score. And there he is, Gabriel Magalhaes, with an absolute world-class last-ditch tackle to keep those 3 points for Arsenal, to maintain that 5-point lead. And I often speak about this. Quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, run-ins, last 12 games of a season in a title race. Those tackles, those saves, those goals, those displays and performances, they just mean more. I thought Mikel Arteta today deserves a lot of credit. In recent weeks, we sit here and we listen to our viewers. We sit here and we listen to, Arsenal fans from all different walks of life and perspectives of their club. One thing that's come up a lot, and it's a question more so, it's a statement and a question, but why the hell isn't Norgard coming on more regularly? Norgard came on today, 76 minute, helped saw that game out. I also think what was excellent today was the early substitution of Gabriel Martinelli. Trossard wasn't having the best of games. Trossard wasn't performing to the highest level. And Mikel Arteta decided, you know what? We need to do something different here. We need to make a change. We need to create a different option in many ways. We just need to do something different, compared to what we've done so far. Maybe just, offer something a little bit different. And he did that by making a very early, very attacking substitution. And it came at a time in the game where Chelsea were on top. It came at a time in the game where Chelsea were moving the ball well. They had their fullbacks getting up. They were getting corners, and they were looking very, very dangerous from them. There weren't massive open play chances. But again, this is where if you're just reading the stats and you're not watching the game, there wasn't XG at the end of it, but they were teetering upon having these big moments. The opportunities were there, just not quite the chances. And Mikel Arteta's action was to say, listen, You know, we're moving the ball around slowly at the back. We've got to start punching that ball more into the midfield. We've got to start getting the ball out to our wingers, and we need to be attacking. So the attacking substitution came, and it paid dividends. Because the one thing Arsenal were then doing well is they were absorbing Chelsea's pressure but counter-attacking. And twice in that second half, Arsenal had brilliant counter-attacking opportunities, 3v1 and 3v2. And there were fouls on the edge of their box, and the referee didn't play advantage. And we'll get more into VAR later on the show. If you're watching the playback of this, you can go check that out on the Full Fan Highlight show on the Football Terrace. But it was infuriating to watch because it was just such a silly thing to do. You can let the play go on and give the booking later. But they were dangerous suddenly with those counter-attacks. And that is where the red card... We're not even got to the second goal yet, but that's where the opportunity for the second goal comes from. And that is where the red card that essentially kills the game comes from. The goal on the 66th minute, counter-attack opportunity, foul made. Free kick taken brilliantly by Declan Rice. I don't know what Rob Sanchez is doing. Goes out for a corner. I don't know what Rob Sanchez is doing at the corner. And Irian Timber scores. And today was a unique day for Arsenal. All four defenders were involved in goals today in terms of assisting and scoring. I think Gabriel assisted Saliba. Hincapié scores an own goal, and Timber scores and gets a winner. I think the commentator said the first time that's ever happened to Arsenal in a game. Some obscure stat you might get at a pub quiz one day. But then after the goal went in, the real turning point was the Neto red card. Neto protesting that the goal of Timber shouldn't have stood. Stupid, because there was no foul. I mean, it's the cleanest Arsenal corner goal you're probably ever going to see. And we'll get in, Neto's booked, and then there's another counter-attack opportunity. And I don't know what Neto is thinking. It is stupid. It is ill-disciplined. And he dives in and he fouls Gabriel Martinelli, who does get straight back up and tries to carry on attacking, but the ref blows the whistle, issues that second yellow card, sends him off. And I really should have put money on this game. I predicted 2-1 to Arsenal. I predicted goals from set pieces, and I predicted Chelsea to get a red card. I have no idea what I'd have got odds on that. If all those things actually happened, you probably would have got about 100-1 for all the goals to be from set pieces, it to be 2-1 to Arsenal, and for a Chelsea player to be sent off. I reckon you're getting a couple of 100-1 on that one. But my prediction, maybe the most accurate prediction I've ever given. I didn't think it would be a smash, a game where Arsenal smashed Chelsea, murdered Chelsea, destroyed them. I knew Chelsea would be in this game. I knew Chelsea would have their moments, and they did. But I still felt that Arsenal would find a way to get over the line. I still felt like Arsenal would have not more than enough, but just enough. They've got more quality, and it would see them through. And it did. And it did. And I felt what really let Chelsea down was you saw that ill-discipline. Yes, the red card, but, bookings for dissent and fighting with the referee rather than focusing on your game. But overall for Arsenal, look, there's loads of things that weren't great today. I feel that Saka and I felt Eze and Gyökeres could have done a better job. I felt that from corners, they looked a little bit all over the place and looked a little bit wishy-washy. They were a little bit caught between a rock and a hard place at the beginning of the second half. Do we attack and move the ball quickly, but then maybe leave space, or do we move the ball slowly, which encouraged a really good press from Chelsea? And it wasn't perfect. And I think painting it as a perfect performance and a perfect week afternoon would be disingenuous to Arsenal fans watching and the Chelsea supporters that are watching. But what mattered was the champions win. Winning when you're up against it, winning when you're not the best team, winning when you don't necessarily deserve to. These things are massive. And there was an element of fortune to it. There absolutely was. But you know what? Arsenal have dropped some points in games this year where they were by far the better team. And then an absolute weldy has been scored and stopped them from winning. So I think that you take the rough with the smooth in relation to that. And I think the only Arsenal fans that will be throwing their toys out the pram today will, of course, be the Arteta outers. They'll use today as another reason to go, we've got to sack Mikel Arteta because of how we played. But I think the only other people that would be shocked at today are the individuals that wrote Chelsea off, the individuals that just said, Chelsea are rubbish, Chelsea are crap, we're going to smash them, this is going to be easy. One, it's a derby, and these things rarely happen like that. Two, this Chelsea team has got some very good players, and I don't think technically they have too many issues. barring needing a better goalkeeper, barring needing better centre-backs, and I think they need more clinical players in the front line. And that might sound like a lot, but I think 2 or 3 good transfers fixes a lot of that. Where Chelsea have a massive issue is up here. It's in their nut. And I know a lot of people hate this word, but I love it, and it's mentality. Your mentality, your discipline, your aggression levels, these things are all attributes. Even for the FIFA generation or the football manager generation, who get a lot of their football knowledge from those computer games, rightly or wrongly, there are issues that you have on. There are things you assess on there. Are they too aggressive? Is their mentality strong? What's their confidence like? What's their aggression like on the pitch? All these things really, really matter. And for Chelsea to have 9 red cards this season, the most of any Premier League team in a single season ever. No team's ever had more, ever. That there is a big problem with this team as soon as they get rattled. But look, Arsenal, they found a way. They got it done. It's a Champions win. You move on to your midweek game, and well done to you. I want to thank you as a United fan because I wanted Chelsea to drop points today. You go away to Brighton next, who themselves are in a good run of form. 2 wins in 2 for them. Tough away ground for Arsenal. And look, the run-in is well and truly here. It's going to be stressful for Gooners every single week, so enjoy tonight. I don't even think you need to get overly into the weeds around the good, the bad, the indifferent. Maybe do that tomorrow morning. Maybe do it on Tuesday in the build-up to your next game. Tonight, enjoy it. You know, have a quick drink, have a quick smoke, have a bit of food, have a little bit of baby making, have a little, you know, the old horizontal hula, consensually, of course. Do those things, get it done, people. Like, share, and subscribe. But a huge Champions win for the Gunners.